सबका मकसद एक ही है, चीन टपाक डमडम।
Amongst the three successor states of the Mughal, the Bengal, the Awadh and Hyderabad, Hyderabad occupies a very important position because Hyderabad directly confronted the Marathas, Mysore, and was actively involved in the struggle for power between the English and the French. Established as an autonomous principality in 1724 by Chin Khalij Khan, Hyderabad emerged as a prosperous regional kingdom. Chin Khalij Khan was the leader of the Turani faction, which got rid of Sayyid brothers. Therefore, the Mughal emperor Muhammad Shah, he made Chin Khalij Khan the wazir. From 1722 till 1724, Chin Khalij Khan tried hard to reorganize the state finances, but he got frustrated with court intrigues and therefore in 1724 decided to focus more or carve out his own independent principality in Deccan. He left Delhi and moved to Deccan in 1724. He defeated Mubaris Khan, the Subedar of Deccan, and crowned himself as the Subedar of Deccan. The Mughal emperor, he recognized Chin Khalij Khan as the Subedar of Deccan and gave him the title Asaf Jahi Nizamul Mulk. So Nizamul Mulk always recognized the suzerainty of the Mughal emperor. The khutbah was read in his name, coins were struck in his name, but significant reforms will also be carried out in the administration. So from 1724 till 1748, it was Nizamul Mulk who shall lay down the foundations of Hyderabad as an independent state. Let us see the important events that took place during the time period from 1724 till 1748. If we consider the geographical location of Hyderabad, it will correspond to the present day region of Northern Sarkars, that is the coastal Andhra, as well as the Hyderabad, Telangana region. Nizamul Mulk also interfered in the politics of Carnatic. Carnatic was the region south of Hyderabad with capital at Arcot. In 1724, when Nizamul Mulk became the Subedar, he interfered in the politics of the Swaraj, of the Marathas. The Maratha camp was divided between Satara and Kolhapur. So Satara was the camp of Shahu and Kolhapur was the camp of Tarabai. Both of them fought with each other and Maratha Sardars were divided. Balaji Vishwanath had been successfully able to get the Sanad for Shahu, and therefore Nizamul Mulk decided to support the claims of Tarabai. However, the Shahu faction and its Peshwa Bajirao I will defeat the Nizam in the Battle of Palkhed in 1728. Subsequently, Nizam will be defeated again in Bhopal, and Bajirao I will force the Nizam to recognize Shahu as the legitimate ruler of the entire Swaraj and also recognize the claims of Shahu for Chauth and Sardeshmukhi of the entire Deccan. It was a big setback for Nizamul Mulk because he lost Gujarat, Khandesh, Berar, and it was also a personal loss because strategically Hyderabad aimed at gaining more territory at the cost of the Maratha land. In 1739, when Nadir Shah invaded Delhi, Nizamul Mulk would participate in the Battle of Karnal. In this Battle of Karnal, Nizamul Mulk played a very important role. Diplomatically, he was able to convince Nadir Shah to return back to Persia for only 50 lakh rupees. And this incited jealousy amongst the Iranian nobility, especially Sadat Khan. Sadat Khan asked Nadir Shah to invade Delhi, and subsequently entire Delhi was plundered. So Nizamul Mulk further got frustrated, and in 1740 he came back to Hyderabad, leaving the north forever. So Nizamul Mulk henceforth will focus only upon Hyderabad. So we see by 1740 the entire region of the Marathas, it had been lost. Hyderabad also lost contact with Delhi. However, after 1740s, Nizamul Mulk will focus more upon Carnatic. The Carnatic as a region was founded as a separate independent principality by Sadatullah Khan in 1722. After Sadatullah Khan died in 1740, his son Dost Ali became the Nawab of Carnatic. However, Dost Ali was killed in 1742 by the Marathas. It was Raghuji Bhosle who killed Dost Ali, the Nawab of Carnatic, and took away his son-in-law Chanda Sahib as prisoner. And in 1744, the Nizam, he made Anwaruddin as the Nawab of Carnatic. So by 1744 we see the Nizam effectively controlled the entire territory of Hyderabad, and he was also controlling Carnatic via Nawab Anwaruddin. So in 1748, when Nizamul Mulk, he died, at that point of time, he had been successfully able to carve out a separate principality of Hyderabad for himself. In 1748, when he died, his son Nasir Jung succeeded his father. So if you look at the lineage of the Nizam, we see Nizamul Mulk Asaf Jahi dying in 1748, and he was succeeded by Nasir Jung, who was his son. But this claim of Nasir Jung was challenged by his nephew Muzaffar Jung. So we see in 1748 there would be Muzaffar Jung challenging Nasir Jung and his candidature, and Muzaffar Jung would be supported by Chanda Sahib plus the French. So let us bring the French into the picture. 1740, when the Nizam came back to Hyderabad, in Europe, there began Austrian War of Succession. Now, if you talk about both the English as well as the French, so if you talk about this Carnatic region, this region was known for various European settlements. Nagpattinam was by the Dutch, we had Pondicherry of the French, we had Madras of the English. So we had a lot of European settlements along the Carnatic, because Carnatic was favorable for foreign trade. And these European powers, they were schooled in the mercantilism ideology. That is, these European powers, they wanted to maximize their profit, and for this they wanted monopoly. That is why these European powers always aimed at gaining more and more political power, or they were aiming at doing away with all their competition. So the French wanted to do away with the English so that they can have a better form of a monopoly control. In the background of Austrian War of Succession, hostilities between the English and the French broke out in India. In 1746, English officer Barnet, he took offenses and attacked French ships. The French governor Dupleix in Pondicherry appealed for help to the governor of Mauritius, La Bourdonnais. Immediately, La Bourdonnais, he sent a fleet of ships, about 30,000 ships, and he defeated the English and captured Madras. La Bourdonnais was bribed and he gave Madras back to the English. Dupleix did not accept this and he recaptured Madras. After recapturing Madras, he also tried to get Fort St. David, but he was not able to. In 1748, Austrian War of Succession came to an end, came to a settlement, and a Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle was signed. And via this Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle, the French were required to give back all the territories they have won from the English. So Dupleix was very sad. He had to return Madras back to the English. But this first Carnatic War was known for Battle of Saint Thome. We already know that in 1744, it was the Nizam who had made Nawab Anwaruddin as the Nawab of Carnatic. And when the hostilities broke out in 1746, the Nawab of Carnatic, he asked French not to enter into hostilities with the English. The French promised the Nawab of Carnatic that after they capture the Madras, they shall hand over Madras to Nawab of Carnatic. But he did not. Therefore, the Nawab sent a large army of 10,000 soldiers under Mahfuz Khan to teach French a lesson. The French decided to counter this attack with 930 European trained soldiers. So 700 were Indians who were trained on European lines and 230 were European soldiers under Captain Paradise. And these 930 people, they defeated a strong army of Mahfuz Khan. So this battle of Saint Thome, fought on the banks of river Adyar in 1746, was a major lesson for the Europeans that European warfare was superior to Oriental warfare. Although in 1748, peace settlement was realized between the French and English, Dupleix had his imperial designs in mind. And therefore, in 1748, when Nasir Jang's candidature was challenged by his nephew Muzaffar Jang, the French under Dupleix decided to support Muzaffar Jang. And in 1748, when the Nizam died, the Marathas, they had released son-in-law of Dost Ali back to Carnatic. And Chanda Sahib, the son-in-law of Dost Ali, he came and he stated that Nawab Anwaruddin was an impostor. He was a Nawab that was arbitrarily imposed by the Nizam. And Chanda Sahib claimed that he was the rightful Nawab of Carnatic. So the French also decided to support Chanda Sahib against Anwaruddin. We already know that the French, they have already fought a war against Anwaruddin. Therefore, Chanda Sahib and Muzaffar Jang, both of them, they would be supported by French against Nasir Jang. In 1750, with the help of French and Chanda Sahib, Muzaffar Jang will defeat Nasir Jang. And in 1750, Muzaffar Jang will become the Nizam of Hyderabad. In Arcot or in Carnatic, in the Battle of Amber in 1749, the French, they will defeat and kill Anwaruddin and they will make Chanda Sahib the Nawab of Carnatic. So in 1750, the fortunes of the French were at an all-time high. Now the French, they had not only defeated Nasir Jang and they installed Muzaffar Jang as the Nizam, they were also able to install Chanda Sahib as the Nawab of Carnatic. Muzaffar Jung, when he became the Nawab, the French, they decided to station Basi as the resident in Hyderabad. Muzaffar Jung, he died accidentally after 1 year in 1751, and immediately the French, they made Salabat Jung the Nizam of Hyderabad. Salabat Jung, he will remain the Nizam of Hyderabad from 1751 till 1760. So by 1751, Salabat Jung, he had given 4 districts of the Northern Sarkar to the French. The French, they had installed Chanda Sahib as the Nawab of Carnatic. The English were simply watching, because the English, who were naturally aligned to Nasir Jung and Muhammad Ali, they were losing the entire Second Carnatic War. It was in 1751 that the English decided to intervene. Chanda Sahib, he was chasing Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was son of Anwaruddin. And Muhammad Ali, he had taken refuge in Trichinopoli. In 1752, the English, they decided to attack Arcot. Arcot was the capital of Carnatic. The English planned that if they attack Arcot, if they capture the fort of Arcot, Chanda Sahib will run to safeguard his capital, and in this way they could relieve Muhammad Ali from the siege of Trichinopoli. So Robert Clive, along with 210 men, captured Arcot. On hearing the news, Chanda Sahib rushed to save his capital. Robert Clive held on to the fort for 53 days. Meanwhile, the English, they were able to relieve Muhammad Ali from the siege of Trichinopoli, and they were also able to defeat Chanda Sahib. In 1752, Chanda Sahib was killed by the Raja of Tanjore, and this enabled the English to install Muhammad Ali instead of Chanda Sahib to the throne of Carnatic. While the English had been successful in raising the siege of Trichinopoli, the English inflicted a humiliating defeat on the French in Trichinopoli. And this was a major setback to Dupleix. In 1754, the French authority took offensive of what had happened in India, and they decided to recall Dupleix. Dupleix was replaced by Godehue. Godehue became the new governor of the French possessions in Pondicherry. So what we saw up till now is, we see that under Nizamul Mulk, Hyderabad established as a separate principality, and the first Carnatic War taking place from 1740 till 1748. The first Carnatic War took place with the background of Austrian War of Succession. So first Carnatic War was not due to imperial design of the French, but it was due to what was happening in Europe. But in the second Carnatic War, which took place from 1748 till 1754, we see that it was due to the imperial designs of Dupleix. And after the second Carnatic War, we see Salabat Jung becoming the Nizam of Hyderabad, and Arcot going into the favor of the English. So in the second Carnatic War, the French gained upper hand in Hyderabad and the English gained upper hand in Carnatic. We already know that in 1757, the English, they would be winning the Battle of Plassey, and they will gain a de facto control over Bengal. And in 1758, 7 years war will begin in Austria. Again, there would be a 7-year war in Europe. Again, English and French, they would be pitted against each other. And the French authorities, they would send Count de Lally for the Indian possessions of the French. Count de Lally shall sail in 1757, and he shall come to India in 1758. Count de Lally had his own apprehensions. He wanted to rule firmly, not to the liking of the French servants in India. In 1758, when he came, he captured Fort St. David. However, in 1760, in the Battle of Wandiwash, Sir Eyre Coote of the English defeated Count de Lally. When Sir Eyre Coote of the English defeated Count de Lally, it was a major setback for the French, because all the French army was captured, imprisoned by the English, and by a Treaty of Paris in 1763, the French agreed not to pursue any form of military or political design and lay down their arms. So effectively, from 1761 till 1803, when Nizam Ali ruled Hyderabad, we see the French, they were out of the entire political game. In 1766, the English, they shall sign a treaty with Nizam Ali, and via this treaty in 1766, the English, they will get the Northern Sarkar region. And this would be followed by 1798, when the English, they would be signing the Subsidiary Alliance Treaty. The point is, when we study the independent principality of Hyderabad, it was intertwined with the Carnatic Wars, and it also saw the rise of English as a political power.